Ladies and gentlemen, this is Daniel. I'm based in Taipei. Very nice meeting you guys, and can have an hour to share some of my observations and experiences here in Taiwan. So I'm the founder and the president of RTM Association, Redefine Tourism Mixer, the community of travel startups in Taiwan. And we are devoting to industry knowledge education and bridging global partnerships among startup companies. Wait a moment. Let me turn off the other of my device so that it's not affecting my presentation. Okay. And so today I'm going to talk about the travel startup market. Well, the title of this session is named by technology and soft power, but precisely, actually, I've been working in travel industry for over 13 years. So the soft power directly means travel, lifestyle industry that I'm more familiar with. So I'm going to give you some updates and trends, not only about Taiwan, but from a global scope, so that you guys can have like better understanding of what our industry is doing and some insights from our angle. So talk about myself. I used to work in Hong Kong MICE industry and travel agency in Taipei and Hawaii Tourism Authority. So I have some experiences in destination marketing management, in cross-border travel marketing, B2B partnership management, and event curating, media and PR, etc. So these are my backgrounds. Okay, so back to RTM. It's founded in 2014. By the time I'll show you, there are so many new players in our industry. So, being one of the advocates for technology and cultural innovation in travel industry in Taiwan, there are just a bunch of young professional, young entrepreneurs by the time we gather together, and we have that ambition to build up a we call RTM School. RTM School in the long term, and it's actually the platform to incubate tourism entrepreneurs through Mandarin, English mentorship programs, and becoming a great talent pool for Asian travel enterprises. So from the photos, you can see over the past 8 years, we've been hosting a lot of these kind of networking events, gathering, workshops, and we regard ourselves as not only a B2B community, but also a know-how think tank. Some keywords about ourselves, some key numbers about ourselves, just quick sharing. And what we are doing, actually, we do a lot of knowledge education events, programs. And from my background and my expertise, we are doing B2B PR and marketing things, and we build up the business partnerships. So there are like many projects ongoing, in RTM Association, and that's where we got our income and got our influence. So this is one of the international forums we organized before. It was in 2019. That was a beautiful time for travel industry because the world has very good performance on cross-border travel flow. And on that year in December, we have this good events inviting over 20 speakers from over 15 different countries. And we have this gathering in Taipei, and everyone shares the trends and cutting edge technology and what they are doing in terms of OTA, online travel agency, and the soft power thing, and how we can provide our services to the cross-border travelers by the time. So our vision is to become a Asian scaled entrepreneur incubators, but starting from this year, we have a good opportunities to work with Taiwan's leading travel agency called Lion Travel to launch a accelerator program. I'm gonna elaborate that later on. So these are just some logos of our local partners and global brands in cooperation before. So right, this is the visual we are doing this year, starting from this month, 1st of August. So we are recruiting um, travel startups, and but not only limited to travel, but lifestyle, local experience, and any kind of soft power business models are very welcome. So I'm going to talk about it later on. But before that, I want to share some knowledge, some market insights with you guys, in my industry. This is back to 2018. I attended an international forum in Singapore, and there is an influential travel B2B media called Focusrite. In this forum, well, this is one of the most influential forum in the world. Focusrite will send their speaker to share about the trends and market updates about the travel startups. So let's take a look. This chart actually shows that between 2011 and 2015, digital travel startups founded around the world have its peak time, have its best timing. So there are like so many new players emerging, entering travel domain, and try to use technology to re-innovate the business models and the framework of this industry. But through the years until 2018, it has a status that we called it founding down, but funding up, which means after some years of testing in the market, those emerging new players, they start realizing that travel market is actually not an easy market. They try to survive. They fight for survival, but many of them are just disappearing or just failing. But those who can survive, those who concentrate resources and getting monetary support from the VC, they start growing bigger and bigger. So the numbers of travel startups going down, but the capital flowing into these, top companies are piling up. So that's the trend. And that's a trend until 2020 when COVID-19 happened. So you can see 10 out of almost 1,800 companies constitute 41% of the 19 billion US dollars raised by the time. And especially outstanding one is Airbnb. And these are some logos by the time that collect the most monetary resources. Most of them are focusing on transportation because in travel industry, transportation is the most needed tool, is the most needed components. So anyone who does online platform providing transportation services would easily get the money. And the second place is hospitality. So these three, including Oyo and two giant platforms from China, mainland China, are followed on the second place. And the third place, Traveloka from Indonesia and Lumama from China, are selling tickets, destination experiences, some local components that are regular components. What we call regular components means the vouchers, the tickets into the theme park and air tickets, etc., that are not too complicated in terms of their usage. Okay, now time moves on to 2021. Also in WIT, in this global forum, I collected the other data about travel startup updates. First of all, the pandemic could have caused a huge drop in funding, but it could have been worse, which means the capital market is still interested. It remains its interests in travel market as well. So from this chart, we can see in 2019, it picks up, over there. But in 2020, because of COVID-19, it gets down. But starting from 2021, there are still capital and resources, pouring into some top companies, especially those we call super app, those platforms to, maintain the momentum of growth and development during the pandemic time. So it could be worse, but it's not that bad. Okay, so starting from 2022, we start seeing the capital and investment showing their interests and start evaluating those startup companies in our industry who can survive and who can even, expand their business scales, grow bigger during the pandemic time. 1 in 3 digital startups are focused on accommodation verticals. So like what I said, transportation, hospitality are really needed components in, the journey of a travelers. So these are very welcome, very popular startup topics. Leading travel startups founded by verticals. The third, the first 3 places comes at hotel and hostel, short-term rental, and tourist activities. So like tourist activities means like KK Day, Klook, these platforms who provided those in-destination fun things, components, elements, to travelers when they are in the travel, when they are in the journey, and then followed by air and packaging tour, etc. And in horizontal means what kind of components, what kind of segments you are choosing, and vertical means what kind of technology, what kind of you know um, tools you are using, for travel. So horizontal and verticals are like 2 ways of categorizing travel startups. So for the horizontal ones, we have booking, we have SaaS Pass, we have content play as the first 3 places, and social networking are still interested by a lot of entrepreneurs, but that's also a very easily failed topic. Majority of startups are transactional in nature, which means they can sell products on their platform. So when they can sell products, they can generate capitals, they can generate cash flows, and that would attract investors. 1/3 operate in B2B space, indicating vibrant product and partner support ecosystem. So when B2C channel is penetrated by those big companies like Uber, like Expedia, Agoda, Booking.com, when B2C channels are like so shrinking because of the top companies, and there are more and more B2B services providers emerging in this industry because they know that they can survive under the ecosystem of those big companies. And this is the other chart in 2021, naming some good performing travel startups in the chart. It's just for your information, and you can see like many of them are using hospitality and short-term rental as their topic. 3 guidelines to travel startup and investments. First one is user reach diversified. So you can use different channels to access your users, to access the consumers, and sell them products in different ways that would attract investments. The second one is operation unbundled. So like in the past, the travel agency likes to integrate their services from the very origin of supplies to the very end consumers, end users. But for the startups, they can try to find one components or like a one angle, to provide services to solve a single sharp, clear problems, and that would also easily success. User experience is fully rebuilt. So for travelers, this is a sexy industry. So when you can persuade your consumers to purchase the same products but with a different statement, with a different packaging, with different attractions, that would be another way to do the innovative startups in our industry. Okay, right now until 2022, in April, in this forum, there is a representative from Google, Joy. She shared very exciting data for the workers in this industry. What kind of data? Okay, so it shows that the growth in search interest is translating directly into bookings, highlighting consumer confidence. So this is not about whether the travel market will come back, whether global travel will come back. This is about when. This is about timing. Okay, so it's in the path to full recovery. So from the chart, you can see this is the load factors of the airlines. And this is the international travel across some different markets. And this is the statistics for Google search. Search for can I travel increased 40%. Search for where to travel in increased 230%. Search interests for where to stay in increased 185%. And also search for vacation rentals increased 1,000%. Search for luxury resorts increased 2,200%. Although these are in different markets apart from Taiwan, but it generally shows the travelers, the consumers in Asia start looking for the future products, start looking for where to go and where to arrange their vacations in the coming months and coming year. And the other situation, the other development is that digital is more embedded than ever across the traveler journey. So pandemic gives travel industry a very good chance to do innovation because zero contact economy will just translate itself into new tools, new technologies that would accommodate the consumers to have less contact with human, but more direct services provided by technology and online platforms. So these are the consumer journey to share with you. Okay, so let's have a conclusion here. There are some startup trends in post-COVID-19 era. The first one is capture all aspiring intent, especially on digital, and then minimize travel frictions to unlock further demand, and then embrace new traveler preferences to build loyalty. So what is the new traveler preferences? That could be something more toward the camping, countryside travel, staycation, workation, etc. So these are like new preferences emerged after COVID-19. So these are some business opportunities that startups can look at. So in the conclusion, this is right now the very good moment to win the hearts and minds of travelers and build new loyalties. All right, so after sharing some information, trends from the global scope, from the global perspective, let's go into Taiwan market analysis. So this is just to show you that COVID-19 impacts very hard on travel industry and real economy for sure. But in Taiwan, until recently, pandemic situation used to be relatively well controlled and was given opportunity to continue developing domestic tourism and sustaining overall economic status. So you can see from the chart that Taiwan, of the past 2.5 years, the line there is like very flat until May this year. It starts breaking out, and Taiwan, finally enters the stage of living with COVID-19 and learning on reopening the border and embracing new order. So since technology and manufacturing take leading role in Taiwan's economy structure, COVID-19 didn't really hurt Taiwan's economic foundation. You can see the statistic in terms of the GDP. However, behind exciting GDP numbers, travel and tourism are indeed impacted. Okay, so from the revenue table here, we could see how industry dramatically dropped when comparing with 2019, especially during May and September. last year, 2021, when we faced the first breakout of the pandemic. For the time being, business of those who rely on domestic market has been pulling back to 80%. It's coming to it's a full recovery. It's on the way. But of those who rely on international tourists are still suffering from great loss and reshaping their business model. So these are the other charts for some IPO companies, listed companies in travel industry in Taiwan. So let's pick up a month and take a micro look at those companies' revenue. For travel agency, unfortunately, numbers don't look good because main players used to do outbound travel as main business, while there are too little profits for domestic products. So they are turning to new product lines such as restaurants, offline travel, pretending going abroad. So that's a campaign, to faking the consumers by taking off the plane and just surrounding Taiwan and making them feel like, oh, they are on the way to abroad. So that's done by some travel agency like Easy Fly or Tiger Air, etc. And Phoenix Tour is even like doing the gymnasium. Okay, so they are into different business lines for survival. But hotels are relatively less painful, getting 70% business back. So what's worth of giving attention there are two things. The first one is quarantine hotels that make a lot of money. Okay, so that's required by the policy, right? So quarantine hotels, last year it requires 14 nights stay, in a row. So every guests, when they book quarantine hotel, that's like several thousands US dollars for the revenue. Okay, and number two situation is that staycation hotels located in countryside tourist destination that become the most welcome places. Okay, so that's the shift of the paradigm after COVID-19. For the catering sector, it has the same logic with hotels. So source of business comes from inbound quarantine travelers and staycation domestic tourists. For the transportation sector, this is more interesting. Taiwan's leading airlines, China Airlines, almost fully recovered from pandemic thanks to cargo business. So a few months ago, there is a talk of the town about the other listed company, Eva Marine, just sharing bonus at 40 months thanks to rising freight prices. Okay, so cargo business earns a lot of money during pandemic time because of the world reshaping of the freight prices and etc. And in addition, car rental and taxi service embraced the rising demand, especially during the pandemic breakouts. And the most highlighted trend is that luxury vacation for yacht, leisure ships meet their super growing opportunity when rich people have no way to spend money overseas. So rich people are always there. They always have the need to purchase, to consume. So during the pandemic time, they cannot, spend money overseas. They pour their resources into domestic suppliers. So overall, hospitality and tourism companies have been fighting for survival and got 70% and 80% recovery right now, while the others are still waiting for reopening of the borders. Well, the borders have been opened. It's just the policy that make it inconvenient. But inconvenience, the confidence in consumers are something very key to travel industry. Only when the confidence, when people feel safe, feel comfortable for going out, for traveling, it could generate real values for the suppliers. The other very interesting situation during the pandemic time is over tourism, under pandemic. And this is interesting because basically people hesitate to go out. But because of well controlled situation in Taiwan, our tourists look for some places to have fun, to go for staycation. And Liu Q Island that's located in southern Taiwan. It's a very small island. It's just 6.8 square kilometers, and it's 20 minutes by ship from Pingdong City. Population only 12,000, but it faces a severe over-tourism problems. Both in 2020 and 2021, the tourist arrivals are over 1 million. So that's like, at least 10 to 15% growth from 2019. And it gives this island very heavy environmental pressures. And that's not something we feel positive about. So opportunities and challenges are always together. Taiwan needs a good management framework over those over-tourism destinations, not only in Xiaoliuqiu, in Ryukyu Island, but also in some other countryside destinations. So we need good framework management to keep our industry lively, but under sustainable developing patterns. Okay, this is the online seminar that RTM organized last year on travel channel and technology. There are some good news for these good performers. So Razio, first of all, the PMS product management system for local experience. It's part of KK Day Group. Okay, so it helped KK Day to successfully raise the C round at $7.5 million. While FunNow, the booking platform for in-city vacation and day use hotels, raised 1.5 million. Asia.Yo has highly surpassed its 2019 revenue thanks to domestic staycation market and quarantine hotels. And Asia.Yo was actually invested by Lion Travel, the leading travel agency in Taiwan, at 7 million US dollars. It's just the recent news. So it's getting stronger and stronger after COVID-19. Also, Tripresso opens its new brand, Commit, for B2B technology and incentive tour services. And beside of these outliers, food delivery, data and analysis, blockchain, metaverse, all have great amount of new players that are evolving in travel and lifestyle domains. So I would say pandemic gives Taiwan market a great timing and chance to integrate online and offline tech and culture business all together. So this chart is done by myself. It describes the post-COVID market trend. Consumer would choose to either stay home enjoying improved online and delivered services, or overcome the pandemic fear to go out but spend more on staycation or in-depth cultural experience. So this is like a smile chart, a smile line. You can either invest or put your efforts in providing those services for stay-home consumers, or you can try to make it more delicate, more complete, and with better services for those who really overcome everything and afford higher costs to go out. And I just called it in-depth tourism in terms of the cultural part. So the chart is also the innovation model that Taiwan travel industry is building up with the joint efforts from other industries. So although like today I'm sharing those market information from our travel industry perspective, but for anyone who are in this workshop today, who are online today, travel industry welcomes you to think about any ideas to collaborate with us in terms of not only products, but also like marketing campaigns or using travel to make you more attractive. All right, to the last part of my presentation, I'm gonna introduce a bit more about our accelerator. NextT is the brand name. So this July, together with Taiwan travel industry leader, Lion Group, we started a joint venture consulting company. It's a new company, and we use, via this company, we launched a NextT accelerating program by recruiting the first batch of startup teams. Okay, so talk about the brand. Next T, next means futuristic, represents next generation, new ideas, direction for future. And T is the prefix, is the first capital letter of tourism, travel, talents, trends, thoughts in Taiwan. Our mission, okay, is based in Taiwan. We want to build up this platform for talents and entrepreneurs all together. At this turning point of a post-pandemic era, we want to build international standard incubation facility through NextT team to establish overseas business connections widely and apply technology to cultivate in-depth traveling, life culture, regional revitalization group, etc. And in an industry downturn due to pandemic impact, we want to polish Taiwan's soft power brand, and along with all the entrepreneurs in the world heading for the post-pandemic market recovery. In terms of the structure of this company, of this organization, it's actually it's a joint venture, right? So it's ventured by me representing RTM and Lion Travel collectively. So RTM Group will be responsible for operation using our young professional entrepreneurs network and using our know-how to do the incubation for especially travel industry, together with Lion Travel that's responsible for the resources, the markets, the product channel, sales, etc. The MVP. How can I say, to realize their MVP in a real market. So Lion Travel can provide any kind of aspect in travel industry for the startups to run their business models. And also there is a venture capital founded by Lion Travel, and that's responsible for investing in those startup companies incubated and accelerated by NextT. So what kind of startups are we looking for? There are three categories. First, it's tech and innovation. So for any softwares or hardwares that optimize the business model of dining, accommodation, entertainment, shopping, and transportation during traveling, could be either online or offline, could be the platform or sharing economy, could be the new paradigm after pandemic. All these are in the category of tech and innovation. Secondly, cultural experiences combined with a topic placemaking, or we call it regional revitalization. And if you are focusing on sustainability or in-depth culture, no matter you are holding a theme travel, local educational workshops, walking tour, craft, DIY, farming experiences, outdoor activities, ceremonial events, or special form of dining, you are all more than welcome. And the third category is a lifestyle new solution. And well, it sounds a little bit more vague, but the reason we set up this category is we don't want to limit ourselves in travel. We want to expand our connections and network to some domains that we are not so familiar with before. But those domains could be well connected and integrated in terms of business models or some strategic partnership framework with travel. Okay, so as long as it's an innovative business model to propose a new solution for visual, dining, body, mind, and space, and other type of projects, they all belong to lifestyle new solution. Lastly, we have a very interesting group beside individual groups and organizations less than 5 years that we call a startup to join our accelerator. We have a mentor group. Well, these are mentors, but these are also founders of the companies. But the thing is that they may be already very experienced in startup. They may have got plentiful experiences of starting up and running a company, and they could be individual, they could be organizations or corporates. These senior founders could join this accelerator as a mentor, which means they could mentoring their junior fellows. And they also have the priority to be evaluated for investment by Lion Travel Capital. Okay, so this is the program, the timeline. So we'll start recruiting. We have been starting up recruiting from August this month, and the expected deadline will be August 28th. After selection, we're going to hold 6 different community learning events in September, October, and November, and finally end up with a demo day in supposed to be November 4th. From November to next January, we have the phase 2. So there will be investment, evaluation, consulting, and global forums, and some, other mentorship programs, so that everyone will get the resources they need throughout this 6 months. In terms of the evaluation criteria, we have 4 main points: business model, business potential, team quality, and to me, it's very meaningful and very important. That is the social responsibility. So these are the standard of evaluation in this accelerator. And you will be asked not just to do well in business, but also to give back to the society. So we have, social mission as one of our criteria. And there are 6 other things that we are doing, for the startups that join our accelerator. But I want to emphasize more that this is not a unique accelerator, not only because we've got Lion Travel as our resources in the industry for practical, know-how and practical opportunities of distribution product market and up to 100 million investment funds. This is also a place that gathers people with passion, with enthusiasm. And passion, enthusiasm are very key, very essential to anyone who loves travel and who wants to build up their career in travel industry. So we believe that, technologies are important, but this is made for the happiness in real world. Okay. And travel and life are fundamentally international. So we are doing business all around the world for sure. And we are trying to build up an international standard platform. We told our entrepreneurs to work hard and to live well, because living well with a strict attitude, that's how we can build up the best traveling products and services. So we can not only work hard, we need to play hard, we need to live well, we need to have a high quality lifestyle ourselves. Most importantly, not only do we talk about traveling, we discuss more on local culture and lifestyle. We build talent pool, we provide spaces for those who are looking for a better world, because we committed ourselves to a softer yet more powerful future. And if you have any intention of partnering with travel industry, or looking for some potential opportunities and resources in our industry, in Taiwan market, you are more than welcome to join NextT Travel Startup Accelerator. All right, this is the last slide of my presentation. Thank you very much. I hope my presentation is helpful for you, and we also have high expectation that Taiwan, my motherland, my beloved market, could turn this moment in history into opportunity, can turn the crisis of pandemic into the great future of a better living quality, a better travel destinations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. Actually, a very comprehensive analysis about the travel tech and Taiwan's startup in general. Thank you for the great sharing. But actually, I have some running questions I want to ask you. Before we get into that, we actually have one question from Deep. So if Daniel, you can see in the comments section, Deep is asking because they are building a software for managing insurance, claim portals, etc. He was wondering if he could explore partnerships with travel companies who would like to sell insurance and require software to manage it. He's not sure if you can facilitate this or, maybe the accelerator, if they join the accelerator program, maybe you could share some if, you could do this or not.
Uh, I'm now reading out the question that Deep is asking. So selling policies online or through partners, embedded claims, portals, etc. Right. Partnering with travel companies in terms of insurance and in an innovation way in a software management. I think this is the great opportunity, for travel industry to learn from insurance industry, especially this is a technology oriented insurance management services. I think it would be good to have a talk and to have a better understanding of each other. And travel industry is interesting because it had in Taiwan's policy, it has its specific regulations and laws, toward travel agency, especially not only travel agents but also hotels, airlines, and those consumers. Because in the past, when travel industry is still not that technology driven and not that still very traditional. Um, it's a high cash flow industry. So some of the bad cases was that travel industry collect money from their guests. They need to pay, before they really go on travel. But finally, because of the cash flow problems, or because of the bad businessmen, they get the money, but they didn't really deliver their services, and some suits, some problems, some cases before, so that Taiwan government set up strict laws and strict regulations to limit travel agency in terms of the insurance arrangements. So I would say after like so many years, when now everything gets changed and it's transparent nowadays, I think travel industry should really think of embracing technology to provide insurance services for their consumers. And to me, it should not be a licensed travel industry's right. It could be the insurance. How can I say? It could be individuals or some other companies that are not travel agency that are able to do travel services with good insurance management, and this should not be limited to those existed travel agencies. So anyway, I think it's a um, uh, very good topic, and it's a very interesting um, startup that travel industry should really look into. So conclusion, you are able and you are welcome to join our accelerator. We can have a talk first.
Yes, yeah, actually, that was quite a comprehensive analyst, Daniel. Pretty, I think it was really well spoken, and I think it covers up most of, aid insurance and travel industry in Taiwan. Actually, except for, so this is a question from myself. Except for like insurance industry, there's actually quite a lot of today because since the pitch contest is about Web3 and blockchain and related industries. So
Mhm.
I also want to ask you, so what do you think blockchain and Web3 industries could be implemented into the Taiwan travel industry or maybe just the lifestyle industry in general? Could you maybe share with us some of your insights?
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Well, let me try my best to explain my thoughts, since there honestly there hasn't been successful or mature models or cases that are implementing blockchain or metaverse technology into travel industry and can generate revenues. Not yet, but it's still on the way. So first of all, I think blockchain is the technology that has been within, some of the travel startup companies like Outing Group, Ding, okay, in Taiwan. So they are using blockchain to decentralize the database that are connected with local farmers, local experiences providers, and some other not only travel but also some other like lifestyle providers in countryside in Taiwan. And what they are doing is to uh, okay they can track the record of those farmers growing their plants. And so in every stage, their products, their services, and their experiences can be tracked, can be recorded, and so that when they sell out these products to the consumers, that are more convincing, okay, because people have better understanding of how these products and these services are coming. On the other hand, there is a model I was taught by the airline partners that when people lose their luggage in the airport, they feel so desperate. Um, and after that, when they need to claim their loss and try to claim uh, the payment, that's a frustrating period that takes a long time, and you need to like fill out like so many forms, and you need to contact airlines, contact insurance company, and you need to like do so many things to claim your loss back. But if there is a blockchain technology that could well connect airlines, insurance companies, airport, and the consumers, to make everyone in the same logic, in the same line, and because of the protection of the blockchain, so your identity, your personal data, won't be disclosed to anyone else. But when it's protected, but it's all connected together, maybe you can just click one button, okay, by blockchain technology. You can click one button to report your loss of luggage, and then insurance side, they can be informed, and then finally give back all the loss, and pay you back by calculating the loss automatically. So that's one technology sample that airline partners told me that they are now innovating. They are now trying to build up this system to increase the convenience for the travelers and to solve the problems in the airport. Okay, that's one hand. And on the other hand, for NFT, for metaverse, there are like so many sayings. Like even in Taiwan, we have Moment X. Okay, that's a Tree Moment as a travel media, and the founder is very interested in high tech and metaverse technology. So they try to create this Moment X platform to to try to translate those concrete offline products and elements that they are contacting with before to the metaverse space, and convince their consumers to purchase those items online. So I would say generally this is not about travel only. It's about the whole content and IP providers that they might have this opportunity in maybe foreseeable future, that their IP, their know-how for destinations, their experiences for tour guiding in France, in overseas countries, and their photos of their travel, their memories, could be all translated into NFT, and that's valuable. Okay, so it's kind of like when the soft power, meets technology, there are like these consumption that travel industry could have the second chance to uh, sell their invisible items again to the consumer market. But yet, I don't think it's going to happen very soon. So that's why our accelerator really focus on the real world happiness. Technology is good, but finally we have to make physical feelings good. We have to make people feel like, okay, their body, their senses are really fulfilled by the service in the end. Okay, so metaverse, blockchain could be on the way, but finally they can get their fulfillment and happiness in offline world. I hope it's clear enough. I try my best.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Actually, yes, I think yes, I think you covered some of the, actually you covered from in what you heard from the industry, right? What their needs and what they're trying to build. So teams, if you're in the Web3 or blockchain industry or NFT, working on NFTs, you heard what Daniel said. There might be some opportunities within the travel industry. And yeah, don't limit yourself into the fintech industry because anything's possible with the new world and new tech, right? Okay, so Daniel, I want to ask you something about the accelerator program, which is the Next T program.
Yeah.
So what is the major difference of your program with other accelerator programs? Aside from that, you have really deep connections and deep roots with Lion Travel or the travel industry, and also do you invest upon startups when they join the program, or is there a investment program? Can you share with us?
Okay. Well, for the investment program, well, we have this, collaboration. Well, we have the allocation of responsibility on that. So, like from my side, as a RTN team, we are in charge of operation. So we recruit startups and entrepreneurs. We gather talents all together, and we run some learning programs, and we try to help these companies to grow up, based on our consulting system and our experiences in this industry. But for the investment part, that's going to be done and conducted by Lion Travel. So they have an investment office composed of some, very experienced investors that have been looking at industry business models for like over 20 years. So these are experts that would evaluate and give money out. And there have been like many successful cases for Lion Travel's investments. So they really take it seriously. Apart from that, Lion Travel is actually raising investment, raising capital right now. So in the past, Lion Travel using its own money. Okay, it has a 1 billion US dollars revenue back in 2019, and it's a IPO company, and it has its investment resources before. So they have conducted some successful investment cases before by their own company, but they are right now raising funds, right? So soonest will be the end of this year. Latest will be the first quarter next year that Lion Travel will be in joint venture with other investment companies or institutes to run a even bigger fund. And that's supposed to be 300 million US dollars in terms of the scale of their fund. So by the time they will form a new investment company, that's not done by a travel agency only. That's done by even more experts and investors, investment institutes altogether. So that fund is expected to be running next year latest. So by the time they will be like more strict and more, I would say, complete system and procedures toward investment. And Next's role is to bridge investment and the startup companies. So we can help communicate, we can help arrange meetings, we can help monitor the evaluation program. Okay, that's the first thing I want to share based on your question. And the second question is about the uniqueness. Like, what's the difference between NextT accelerator and other accelerators? Well, I believe that there are like so many senior and more, resourceful accelerators, not only in Taiwan, but in Asia, in the world. and we are a new one. We are new players. But I would say, from my understanding, at least in the region, including Japan, Korea, China, and Southeastern Asia, there's very few or like even none of the accelerators that are focusing on travel. And because I just came back from Japan, one of the very senior investors in travel industry there told me that even like Japan is like very strong in domestic tourism and very resourceful, in some successful big travel groups. They are doing investment independently. They don't work with each other. And their goal is just to build up their own ecosystem to make their company even stronger in terms of the supply chain. So that's not an accelerating concept. That's kind of like business is business concept. So he really looks forward to our accelerating program because we might be the first accelerator focusing on travel in Northeastern Asia, and they are excited about that. So I would say when accelerators industry, okay, is penetrated, there will be more and more accelerators or like new players that's doing similar things emerging, more and more that's going into specific domain with experiences and resources, direct network connections in that industry. And that's something I think very meaningful to make a specific industry to grow bigger and to help that industry to expand and really cross the borders, cross the domains to connect, cooperate with other domains to make it more healthier. So we have this mission. It's not only for ourselves. It's for overall travel industry, not only in Taiwan, but in the region, maybe in the world in coming time.
Sounds like it sounds like a really, really good cause, and I totally support it, honestly. Okay, so actually we're running, we're almost at the end of this session. I want to ask you one last question, Daniel. So, is there anything important that wasn't mentioned in today's session that you wanted to share, to the teams or, about the industry, anything?
Well, it might be my regret that I cannot like really interact with each one of the participants today. And since I got materials of each one of the startup companies joining the seminar today, but I haven't really got time to read like one by one. So I'm gonna spend time to digest and understand each one of you more. And maybe it's not your duty or like your part, your side to take active role in connecting with us. It might be me to connect with you. So maybe I'll send you email. Maybe through the organizers' help, I might have this intention to understand you more and to find the opportunities to work with you more. Okay, so that's something that I wanna say to everybody today, and thanks for listening to me. And I hope it's clear enough and helpful enough. And yeah, just love to meet you up someday.